Hello crafting. In this video we shall be making this twisted turban design using a very beautiful fabric. If you're new here, you're all welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. I am Ibiwari. Let's get crafting. For our project today, we'll be needing some items to work with. We'll be needing our fiber. I'm using a fiber sheet. We'll need our tape. We'll need our scissors. So this is the fiber sheet I'll be working with. Then you also have a single, like a turnout fiber. You can also use that, but I'll be using a fiber sheet. Then this is our fabric I'll be working with. It is called Yori Yori, where I bought it, but I don't know what it will be called any other place. It has a shiny, glittery, good side. It has a distinguished glit to it. It's so beautiful and it's so soft. So for the width, I'll be using 6 inches width. 6 inches, as you can see, I'll be working with 6 inches width. And for the length, I'll be working with 39 inches. 39 inches length. So that's what we'll be working with today. Now I have 2 pieces of the same measurement. I have to, because we want to make a twisted turban design, so I'll be needing 2 pieces to work with. So my fabric has a good side and a wrong side. As I said, the good side has a glit to it, is glittering and is very beautiful, and the fabric is soft. So I'll go ahead, place the good side facing me and fold it widthwise. Then I'll sew across the length. I'll do the same thing for both of the fabric. I'll fold it widthwise and sew across the length. So I'll go ahead and use my sewing machine to sew it. The same thing for both of my fabrics I'll be working with. So I'm done sewing, so I'll just go ahead to turn out my fabric to the good side. I'll turn out my fabric to the good side and we'll get the fun part going. So I first of all did the sewing and turning out before I will now make my final measurement. You know, we started with 6 inches width. I didn't go ahead to cut out my fiber. I want to know the exact measurement of fiber I'll cut out. So I placed the sewn part at the middle. So the sewn part of my fabric, after turning it to the good side, I place it at the middle. Then I'll go ahead to take the measurement. Now the measurements for the after sewing is 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches. So like 0.5 inches was used for the sewing. So I went ahead to measure out 2.5 inches of my fiber. Now my fiber sheet is thick, so I don't need to fold it to give it a thickness. So if your fiber sheet is not that thick, you can like double the measurement of your width, then fold it so that you have a thickness to your fabric when you insert it. But my fiber sheet I bought is already thick, so I just went ahead to measure my 2.5. Then I'll just go ahead to insert it. I use office pin, I use a safety pin to insert and to put it through my fiber. Then I'll now use it to insert my fiber into my fabric. Like the safety pin will help you know at what point your fiber is in your fabric, and it will help you push it through it. So I'll just put it through at the beginning, then I'll start filling my safety pin and pull along the way until I get my fiber inserted all the way down my fabric. So when I get inserted all the way through, then any excess I'll go ahead to cut it off. So that is what I'm doing. The same thing I'm doing for the other fabric. You know, we are working with 2 fabric, so this thing I'm doing for this fabric will be done for the other fabric. The same thing, the same measurement, the same process. So you just, for both of the fabrics we started out with, we are doing exactly the same thing for the both of them. So I'll just go ahead and pull through my fiber. Just have patience to do this part. That's why I was showing you this long, how it took me, so at least you just get an idea of what to expect. It's not something you just push through and you get it all the way. Just slow and steady, you pull through all your fiber into your fabric. So I am done pulling through my fiber into my fabric, so I have excess remaining. And to let you know, I measured exactly 39 inches length of my fiber, but after inserting you still see that you're having excess remaining, so you just go ahead to cut off the excess, and that is what I am doing here. I'll just go ahead to cut off the excess. So see my both fabrics, I did the same thing for the both of them. So I'll go ahead to fold in the edge of the fabric. I'll just go ahead to fold in the edge of the fabric, so I'll just sew it down. You can use your sewing machine to sew it down, or you can use your hand, your thread and needle to sew it. So I'll just go ahead to sew with my thread and needle. That is what I'll be doing. I'll use my thread and needle to sew it down and get it together. So now we'll need to sew it for the both of them, but here I'm just sewing one so that you can get to see. Then I'll now bring the other one together and sew it together, because at this point we need both of our fabrics together so that we can do our twisting. So I'm just showing you that okay, you can use your needle and thread to sew it down one after the other, or you can just bring both of them together and sew it together. If you're here to join the crafting, click on the subscribe button now to join the crafting for millinery tips, headwear tutorials and fashion accessory DIYs. So yeah, I'll just go ahead and bring both together and sew it and get it done at a go. So you can do the same from the beginning, or you can sew them one after the other, but I feel doing it both will just save you a lot of time. But I just showed you so that you get to see that okay, this is what is done for the fabric. So I'll go ahead to fold in the second of my fabric. The same thing I did, I'll just go ahead and fold it in. Now at this point I will place the other one together with this one I want to sew now, so that it makes the process easier. So I'm done. Now it's time to twist. Now just check how I'm twisting so that you follow it through. You twist, you hold one on your left and hold one. At this point you need somebody to help you and hold it as you're twisting. So when you're twisting, like you twist each strand, then place it over the other. Twist each strand, place it over the other, and that is how you get your twisting done. You do it till you get to the end of your measurement of your fiber inserted fabric. So you twist, like you're holding one strand on the left, you're holding the other strand on the right, you're twisting both of the strand that you have, the one on your left and the one on your right, you're twisting the both, then you place one over the other. That is what you do till you get to the end of your fabric, and you will get your twisted strand. Now at the end you're having a twisted strand, no longer two strands. So when you're done, you end up with both strands, no longer two strands. So if you try this out, you can connect with us on Facebook, our community page is Fine Crafties Connect, and let's see your designs and what you came up with. You can connect with us on Instagram at Ibis Fine Crafties. You can also connect with us on Facebook at Ibis Fine Crafties. We'd like to see the designs you are making, and let's share you on. So it will take you some time to get all your twisting done, and once you're done, remember we only sewed one part of our strands. We joined one part of our strands together before we started twisting. So at this point now, after twisting, I'll now bring both ends. I'll still fold it in the way I did at the beginning of the other strand. The beginning, I'll do the same thing. When I'm done twisting, I'll fold it in, bring both of the strands together at this end, and so that is what I'm doing. So I'm done sewing. we have a beautiful twisted strand now that we can work with. And now at this point, you can let your creativity go and try twisting your twisted strand in different form and shapes to get any design you want. So you can play around with it and just try different things what you want. So at this point, I'm just trying to check out how I want mine to be placed. When I'm sure, I'm certain that is what I want, I'll go ahead and stitch it down with needle and thread. I'll go ahead and stitch it down with needle and thread. So this is our turban. Already the video of this turban, front twisted gather turban, is up on this channel. I'll just link it at the end of this video so that you can go ahead to watch it, how that twisted front gather turban was made. So after I've gotten an idea of how I want my twisted turban to be placed, I'll go ahead to stitch it with needle and thread. You see, I first of all fold it in, wrap it in. I'll now sew that part to hold it together. I'll continue bringing my twisted strand together and keep sewing till I'm done sewing, so that this way it sticks together, it holds firmly together before we attach it to our turban. So it makes the work easier. You can use glue to hold it together first before you use your needle and thread to hold it down, whichever way that works for you best. Now I am done with I'm done stitching down. It's time to attach it to my turban and get the glam going. So first of all, I've already took note of where I want to attach it. I'll still use my needle and thread. At this point also, you can go in with your glue first. Place your glue over it so it holds down where you want it to. Whichever way that suits and is easier for you to work with, please go ahead and do it at this point, whichever way you're comfortable with. But I'll use my needle and thread and start attaching. I'll just first of all attach and hold it in place. I just want you to see how I started it off. But I'll go at the end, I will go and place it on my model Pinky. Pinky is my dummy model. I'll go and place it on her head and do my stitching completely on the dummy's head. So I just want you to see how you can start off using your needle and thread to attach the twisted turban, the twisted design to your turban. But if you're not comfortable with this pattern, please go ahead and use glue to hold it down first before you start using needle and thread to attach it. But for me, I just went ahead to use my needle and thread to go in with my attaching. Then but I'll completely do my fixing on my model's head. So just for you to see this bit and see how I started it. So if you've watched up to this point and you've not joined the crafting, what are you waiting for? Click that subscribe button now to join the crafting, and also turn on the notification so that you'll be the first to be notified when new video drops. So I'm done. I told you I'll go and place it on my dummies, my model's head, and finish the tacking there. So this is the final outcome. This is beautiful, and this fabric is super beautiful. Like, it has a glam to it. See our final outcome. Our Pinky is looking beautiful styling this design. So go ahead, make your design. You can share and connect with us. Let's see what you came up with. Play around with the design, your twisted strand, and see what other styles you come up with. Like I always say, whatever you can think, you can create. Be creative and bye.